well, but the real world is so different. It needs a different kind of resilience, grit and courage to face the trolls, to face the competition, to face the critics. I remember when Shiva was releasing, Shiva, the film that Nagarjuna, my husband, had acted in and produced, Annapurna Studios had produced Ram Gopal Verma's first film. And many of the producers and distributors of the time had seen it and said, Babu, oక్క రోజు ఆడతాయి ఆడుతుంది, it'll run maybe for one day. Just think that whatever money you've lost, you'll lose. But the film went on to, there's a cinema before Shiva, Telugu cinema before Shiva and Telugu cinema after Shiva. So, but at that moment, the courage and the grit that you have to have and to be able to do what you believe and what you think you are doing justice to, it takes a different kind of courage. What would you say would build that grit and courage? I see you when Akhil has a failure and I know the curtains are drawn, there's darkness, I don't see him for maybe a week. And then I'll see he's getting his car ready and he's putting stuff into his car and I know, okay, he's going on a road trip to see Prashanth. And I know he'll come back ready to face the world. So what is it that we can do for all young people to get that grit and that courage back to remember that you can do it and go out and do it again?
I think it's a practical experience, which I mentioned before, that you have to be on sets. You have to have seen somebody else's success. You have to have seen somebody's failure, and I think that's the greatest gift that can be given to a student, especially in cinema, that he gets to be on sets where he knows the entire process of a cinema and finally sees the result of it. It's like somebody else is a lab rat for him, and he should be doing it time and time again till he understands that cinema is done in a certain way.
Salaar fans want to know that they believe that you cracked the magic combination for Salaar and KGF. There's a magic combination of being able to tell something that has immense mass appeal, yet has certain authenticity that every member of the audience connects deeply to. Of course, I'm not going to pretend I can decipher Prashanth Neel, but I've heard these young people talk. So what is it to film students that you can say to encourage artistic integrity and yet get the business right? I think that's the quest for everyone, and that's where they fail the most. Either they get carried away like Akshat and go into deep artistic expression, or they get carried away by the business and forget their storytelling integrity. So some words of experience from you.
So I made 4 movies till now. They're mass commercial movies, and they are not the movies that I usually sit and watch on television. So my taste is very different. If given a choice, I would make very different kind of movies. I'd make something like an Inception. I'd make a love story, like Hum Aapke Hai Kaun. But the viability, the feasibility, the business, they all lie somewhere else, coming from South India. I know where the money comes from. I'm not somebody who has come over here to make a difference. I've come here to make a livelihood, bread and butter, of course, a lot of butter with my bread. And so I understand where I am right now, and I try and make movies with only one intent, and I think they teach this in many schools, business schools, consumer behavior. And I understand that pattern, and even if I'm not comfortable, that's where I said passion goes out of the window. I might not be comfortable making these movies. I probably want to make movies that I want to make, but I'll not do it right now. Because when it is only about economics for me. It's the creativity comes from basic necessities for me. I have to make a certain kind of movie. I have to make a movie for Prabhas. I have to make a movie for Yash. I have to make a movie for NTR. When I am making these movies for NTR or Prabhas or Yash, I can't make a Hum Aapke Kaun.
These are great words. I'll share this passage with you, by the way. And I'm looking forward to having you at film school and talking to the students, and I'm sure you would get energized,
Yes,
and they would be energized too. I don't know if we have time for questions from the audience, but I could ask 2 questions.
Sir, this question is, I am Ramlingeswara KV,
Hi.
founder of Neram. This question for you, Mr. Prashanth sir. While before making the movie, when the story in the script level, that is the vision of the director. He prepares everything script level. In your vision, who you think as a hero? Is it yourself or any other person?
So it's not as innocent as just writing a story for us. The moment we start writing characters, we say, okay, Amitabh Bachchan is going to be playing this character. The hero of this movie is going to be Prabhas. And the heroine is going to be played by Deepika Padukone. I'm talking about Kalki. I don't know why I mentioned all of those names. But I'm just giving you an example. So it would have been fantastic for us not to have, and we could even sketch it out. But it happens that, it is probably the most polluted way of making, of telling stories. It's not as beautiful as we think it is from the outside. It is commercial. You go pay money, pick up popcorn, and I don't know why I'm belittling the film industry also right now, but it is very simple. We make film for the screen. It is an audio visual experience. So we do everything possible to enhance that only through audio and video. So the way we think is very different. I wish we could just make a pure story and say it the way that story is, because our stories are more beautiful than they appear on screen.